Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to St. Kitts. Got a little rain, got some beautiful light here this evening, and some clouds. And let's get back in an old friend, the Britten Norman Islander. So let's go. Rotating beacon on, external power supply on. Mixtures and props full forward, master and battery switches on. I still can't get my fuel pumps to work, but that's alright. We'll just go there. Let's flip the mags on. Yeah, those aren't going to work either on my Honeycomb Bravo, so do that. Let's crack the throttles. Let's have a quick look around, make sure there's nobody to kill or maim. And I'm going to have to dodge the equipment here, it looks like. Let's hit the starter on that side, and now let's look around in wonderment at what we've done wrong. What have we done wrong? Mags are on, fuel pumps are on. Mixtures and props full forward, master and battery switches on. What have we done wrong, ladies and gentlemen? Beats me. Aha, you know what, you wise guy. Oh, jeez, all this stuff is on. Alright. Now I getcha. Fuel is on. Starboard tank, right tank. Now let's try it. Alright, there's a good start. Left prop is clear. There's a good start there. Let's turn the external power supply off. Nav and strobe lights coming on. Taxi light coming on. Panel lights, let's turn those on because we're probably going to need them at some point tonight. Alright, now 22.8. Yeah, that's not 22.8, that's 22.850. There's 22.8. Let's switch the CDI over to GPS. Let's put our transponder squawk altitude. Let's put our squawk code in. What's our favorite squawk code? It is 4643. No idea why, it's just the one I like. Alright, so this should be a cool flight. Let's see what we got here. Lean the mixtures for taxi. Let's close the starter hood cover, turn the fuel pumps off. External power supply is already off. Let's release the parking brake. I don't think we have ATC. We do not. I don't know why. There are people standing around staring at me out the front of my airplane. I never asked for this. I didn't ask for this. Alright, so let's, I really kind of think that the only way to do this is to do that. Thank God. I gotta go into my settings and uncheck the pushback and all that nonsense. Bradshaw traffic, Anguilla 264, taxiing to runway 7 via taxiway Alpha, Bradshaw. Now is when we hope that there is a taxiway Alpha. Boy, look at this tonight. How cool. Huh? Alright, we can do a Bravo takeoff here. Let's set the flaps to their takeoff setting. Is that the hold short line? It is. Alright, landing lights coming on. I don't see any traffic, but on that GNS 530, I don't know if you would. Bradshaw traffic, Anguilla 264, taking runway 7 for departure to the north at taxiway Bravo, St. Kitts. Alright, mixtures and props full forward. Trim is set for takeoff. Might have to turn those landing lights off if we get in the clouds. Let's open the range up here a little bit. Alright. On course heading is 071. Bradshaw traffic, Anguilla 264 taking off runway 7, left crosswind departure to the north, Bradshaw. Here we go. Boy, is it gorgeous out. Wow. Alright, takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is alive. 65, 70 knots. And rotate. I know it's popular to bring your props and mixtures back right away, but I'm going to hold on to it here for just a little bit. Because I like climbing in airplanes. I really like climbing. I'm going to trim here. Nose is coming down a bit, which it's going to. Oh, look at this. I'm sorry, but look at that. Oh, please give me that screenshot, Microsoft. Please give me that screenshot for my video. Please. Look at this. Alright, coming back on with the lights. Let's come inside. Climbing through 1500. Look at this. Let's turn the fuel pumps off. Never turn the fuel pumps on. That makes it easier. Alright. Bradshaw traffic. Anguilla 264 climbing through 1,800 for 5,500. We are northbound. Left across the departure off runway 7, Bradshaw. Boy, that was a terrible radio message. And actually, we're not going to be climbing through. We're not going to be climbing to 5,500 because we are westbound. What altitude do you climb through when you are westbound? The way to remember it is east is odd. That's how I remember it. Anyway, I don't know. I was gonna add something to it, but there's nothing to add. My flaps up. Got to do that. Look at this. What a stunning view. push the nose down so my airplane doesn't stall. It's a good idea, right? Alright, we're climbing through 3,000. 4,500. Boy, is this this is what I would refer to as Caribbean VFR. Caribbeans, they don't really, you know, they're not real sticklers for that whole VFR, IFR cloud coverage bit. They are sticklers for staying on course. That's an issue no matter where you are in the world. So let's see what altitude does it for us here. The other thing I want to do, turn on my pitot heat. That'd be a really good idea right about now. Yeah, 4,500 ain't gonna do it, folks. We do have a carb temp gauge. Boy, is that getting pretty close to what I would deem uncomfortable. This is one of the coolest climb outs I have ever experienced in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Keep an eye on those carb temps. Start pulling back those mixtures, try to get some more oomph out of these engines. So 6,500 is what we're looking for next. We are solid IMC right now. Easily the coolest climb out I've ever had in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Those manifold pressure was maxed out. Yeah, I mean, this is just ridiculous. It's so beautiful. Oh, man. Let's get back in the airplane here. There's 6,500 right there. Which is a good place for us to be. Let's see here, 23 squared. No. Don't you get all testy with me now. Don't you get all testy with me now. Sole purpose of this flight is kind of just to get myself reacquainted with this beautiful old airplane. There's been another update since I flew it last, and I believe the main thing in that update was simply to one of the things was just to get the flaps, excuse me, to get the the flaps from making such a big impact. When you set the flaps in your descent, that it makes less of a nose pitch up, because it's been the last iteration of the airplane, the pitch up when you put the flaps in was pretty intense. Let's see here. It's been one of my pet peeves about the sim, as we look down there to St. Eustatius, is this constant up-down pitch situation. Alright, well, gosh, what a good Microsoft Flight Simulator, when it is on, it is on. It really is. Keep leaving out the mixtures here. There we go. Finally turned on me. Push them in 50 degrees. That's going to be St. Bart's over there to our right. Boy, would that be a hoot approach right now. St. Eustatius right there. Coming up here on our left is Saba. So I haven't flown this airplane in a little while anyway. You know, I've been thinking a lot about kind of what I'm doing in Flight Sim, like what I'm doing with my channel. And I think really the conclusion I've come to, I am going to rebrand my YouTube channel, because this is a Flight Sim channel now. It's not really anything other than that. And everything else that's on my channel is either associated with the Caribbean or it's ancillary to anything that I really do. So I'm gonna rebrand the channel. I'm just kind of debating in my own mind how I'm going to rebrand it, what I'm going to rebrand it to. And I think I've got that pretty figured out. And I think, you know, part of the reason why I do flight sim is to keep my mind engaged. I mean, in terms of flying real-world airplanes, right? The big thing, I mean, it is a physical skill. There's no question about that. You know, but it's nothing that a few touch and goes can't iron out, right? In terms of like, you know, I have every confidence in my ability to go out and make safe landings and things like that, and to physically handle the airplane. I'm current, I'm instrument current. Like, I'm current to carry passengers, I'm instrument current. So it's not so much anything like that, it's just a matter of keeping your mind sharp in terms of procedures, checklists, thinking about what you, kind of keeping your head ahead of the airplane. And so I think that, you know, I use flight sim for that, but I also like really enjoy flying this airplane. A couple of decent pauses right there. Like I guess what I'm saying is I've been debating in my mind, like, whether I should spend my time using flight sim to kind of reinforce what I do in the real world with airplanes, or kind of feed my fantasies about flying, you know, airplanes that I probably won't ever fly, like the TVM 930, perhaps even the CRJ, this airplane. And what I've realized is it's not an either or proposition. I don't have to do one or the other. It's important that I do fly the Warrior in the sim, because it helps me keep my Cherokee brain fresh. It's important that I fly glass cockpits in the plane, because flying a glass cockpit is much different than flying, you know, a traditional six-pack like this. And what I mean by that is, like, when you are, like, the transition from the traditional six-pack to the glass panel, needles move in different directions, like, or your perception of what the needle movement is different. And so it's very important to keep your eye sharp for glass panels, because, well, for anybody who doesn't know, the Piper Cherokee that I fly in real life has it has two G5s. 2 Garmin G5s, and just trying to make sure I don't blow out my engine there. I know there's a rule on manifold pressure and RPM. I just don't know what that rule is. So basically what I'm saying is I need to keep my eye trained for this. Because essentially, like with I'm trying to think of how to explain it. With a glass cockpit, on your traditional 6-pack, anything that's moving upward, right, is not decreasing. In other words, if this is moving up, if this is moving in that direction, it's not decreasing. If this is moving in that direction, it's not decreasing. If this is moving in that direction, it's not decreasing, right? This is going in that direction. It's going up, and it's decreasing, which is not what it does with a traditional 6-pack. With none of the traditional 6-pack instruments do that. And so it's really important to keep yourself sharp on glass cockpits. Really important. Because if you get yourself, especially if you're in the clouds and you get yourself confused, you can get yourself in trouble very quickly. Anyway, that wasn't a very well thought out or complete thought. I haven't really thought about talking about that. So I didn't present that information very well. But anyway. So, I need to spend more time flying behind the glass panel, which I'm really psyched that this airplane, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to leave it on glass panel right now. And I actually do the same. So when I'm flying, so this is kind of the equivalent of what I have in my Cherokee, right? There's two, in the Cherokee it's 2 G5s. In this airplane it's 1 instrument, this addon. I have the same setup in my plane. So I've got the altimeter here, vertical speed indicator here, airspeed indicator here. And I cheat. I use these when I'm flying the Cherokee. I think there's a part of you, if you start your flying career on round gauges, there's just a part of you that's always going to understand that better. And I've got the wobbles here on in pitch again in this airplane, which means you can see, like, it's so here the vertical speed is going to go down, now the vertical speed is going to come back up, airplane's going to slow down, now the vertical speed is going to drop, now the airspeed is going to pick up. Now the airspeed picks up. vertical speed, comes back up, airspeed's going to drop. And it just does this over and over and over again. It's just really irritating. In a real airplane that has positive static stability, tell me who cares what that means. The airplane isn't going to do that. It may oscillate a bit, but it's eventually gonna settle. Whereas in Microsoft Flight Simulator, it never settles. Princess Juliana traffic, Anguilla 264 overflying the field from south to north at 4,500 feet, descending, inbound to Anguilla, Princess Juliana. See, it just keeps doing it. It just keeps doing it. See, like when I look here, I mean, I think this instrument is poorly laid out. You know, it doesn't have like 1,000-foot markers and that sort of stuff. It just basically gives you a trend. Pretty cool, though. Mixtures back rich. Anguilla traffic. Anguilla 264 is 10 miles to the south, inbound runway 11, Anguilla. What that is over there? Unless it's the airport. I don't think it is. Light on. I turned that off earlier. There's some traffic. He looks to be westbound. Oh, that's the light I was picking up, was that airplane. Okay. Rendezvous base straight ahead of us. Start angling over towards sandy ground. I think I've got the airport picked out now. Alright. We should be on a pretty decent right base. You aim for sandy ground, you should generally have a pretty good right base. Now, what is the METAR here? Let's see, winds are 110 at 12, altimeter 299 at 1. Alright. Anguilla traffic, Anguilla 264, 3 mile right base, runway 11, Anguilla. Alright, let's put 1 notch of flaps in. Pumps on. Yeah, much different reaction of the airplane to the flaps. Over here. Anguilla traffic, Anguilla 264, turning 1.5 miles, final runway 11, Anguilla. Gosh, it's beautiful at night. Still got 4 white. Mixture's full forward. $70 knots is right where I want it. I keep looking at that airspeed, keep watching that rate of descent. Well, I almost look like I know what I'm doing. This is making me nervous here. 500 feet, 70 knots, perfect rate of descent. It's gotten a little bit high, but I don't want to overcorrect. Anguilla traffic, Anguilla 264, short final 11, Anguilla. Don't want to overcorrect. A little power back. Props full forward, mixtures and props are full forward. I like the airspeed. I like everything. Something strange is happening. I look like a pilot. Alright, 70 knots. Got a little float there. That was that was an arrival as opposed to a landing. But boy, does this airplane handle beautifully now. Boy, does it handle beautifully. Let's lean the mixtures for taxi. The big pitch up moments that you got. Turn the landing light off. The big pitch moments that you got from the flaps are gone, which is awesome. Stop Anguilla traffic, Anguilla 264 is clear of the runway, Anguilla. Alright, so let's turn a few pumps off. Mixtures are lean. Remember, you can't lean the mixtures too much, because what happens if you lean the mixtures too much? The engines quit. And, I mean, that happens on the ground, big deal. Like, really doesn't matter. It's a pain. It might be a pain because you might have to restart the engines and you might have to use a hot start procedure. But generally speaking, you cannot lean the mixtures too much on the ground. Because if you lean them too much, the engine quits. Big deal. The opposite, which is running the mixtures too rich, and then you get fouled spark plugs, is not good. See, that can affect you in the air, particularly if you're not paying attention on your run-up. I've clearly got my landing light, or my taxi light is not bound correctly either right now, so that's alright. Alright, let's apply the brakes, mixtures to idle cutoff. Throttles are at idle. Let's apply the parking brake. Lights coming off. Avionics, master and battery switches off. Magnetos off. Let's go pitot heat off. Could have turned that off a while ago. So, passenger signs, cabin lights. Maybe we don't have taxi lights. Anyway, master and battery switches off. And that sound you hear winding down is your gyros winding down. Did I put my flaps up? I didn't. I'm an amateur. Flaps up. Anyway, the Islander is home. Boy, does that airplane fly unbelievably well now. That was easily the most in control I've felt of this airplane. My landing notwithstanding. Good to be back home here in Anguilla. You will definitely be seeing more of the Islander in the coming days. Hope you guys are doing well.